I'm Johnny Walker Dread. I'm joined by Mikey. Mikey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm a bit of a musical know-it-all in some aspects. Hopefully I can use those abilities today when we talk about the subject of dub.
Yeah, your favorite genre?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And do we have your favorite group in that genre tuned up today?
Yes, we do.
Tell us a little bit about Dub Syndicate.
Yeah, so it's a British group, and group is a bit of a loose of a term because there's no set instrumentation or musicians composing it. It's really all the workings of the producer, Adrian Sherwood.
The On You Sound label.
Yeah, his work with the On You Sound label gets these musicians in a revolving door and just has them record music, and then he goes in the studio and messes them up in very, very interesting ways.
Kind of like the Pink Floyd of reggae dub.
That's a pretty bold claim, but yeah, sure.
In a way that they broke ground in terms of experimental.
Yeah, because their old slogan back in the, I think it was like the 80s was like, or the 90s was sounds from the next decade or something like that. It was, these are like sounds from the future, yeah.
I think the listeners are going to be enjoying this. Again, every time we do a show, it's going to be a different genre. We're going to choose a group that we think exemplifies that genre in some way. And we're going to be focusing on something you probably have never heard before. So without much further ado, Dub Syndicate.
That last song is just outstanding.
Dub Asababa or something?
No, that last one's Walking Jerusalem.
That's right, Walking in Jerusalem.
Yeah, it's the same album as Dub Sababa off of Ecomania.
Right, is that a cover?
I believe so. I haven't quite figured it out exactly. Because I think the original song's like some folk, like country song or something. And I'm not too familiar with that genre. But from what I can gather, yeah, I think it's just a cover rework of a old school sort of folk song.
They've got some really nice layered keyboards going on.
Yeah, they always find some weird songs to completely take in a whole other direction.
All right, let's go listen to some more of Dub Syndicate.
to the land of love, to the land of love.
Tell us about that last singer.
Ben Sherman, golden voice himself, probably the greatest reggae singer to ever live.
Is he excellent or what?
Oh, he's fantastic. There's not another person I can think of that really quite matches that ability.
We really need to talk a little bit about some of these other groups that are on that label, which are really Dub Syndicate, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they would disband and reform as some other group, let's say Creation Rebel or Singers and Players, but it was the same guys. They had a whole bunch of these studio musicians that would come in. It's not just Dub Syndicate. There's a lot of groups in the Anya Sound label that sound just like this.
Easy, can take it easy. Times are so rough. Easy, can take it easy. It's so tough. Easy, can take it easy. Times are so rough. Easy, can take it easy. It's so tough.
From outer space.
Dr. Pablo and the Dub Syndicate. Dr. Pablo, of course, being the melodica player, and I guess the name would be reminiscent of Augustus Pablo, the original great melodica player.
Yeah, and the album, what was that? The album of Augustus Pablo, East of the River Nile.
East of the River Nile. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So there's a little play off of that. But yeah, Dr. Pablo, and by the way, that first cut was what?
The Doctor Who theme song,
Doctor Who theme song. Of course, if you listen to it, you'll never guess it. You have to put them next to each other and think, wait, that is the same song. And I think that's what's great about that cover. It's one of my favorite albums.
Oh, yeah.
Ay mal, mafia.
This is a return of President Abraham. Place stretch Perry on these holy hands. Psalms 1. This is the return of President Abraham Perry. Chapter 9. On his ball of fire firmament. Spike up. Who slew the dragon out of the sky? Ethiopia, who slew the dragon with his lightning eye from Jamaica.
Man, they're so versatile. They can cover pretty much any sort of mood. It's incredible.
Yeah, and if you hear a song, like a title that sounds familiar, and you play it, it's not going to sound like the song that you're familiar with. It's going to be completely different. I like that about it. It's just a more.
Bow down. Shut down. 7 up, get down. Shut up, realize I've been shut down. 7 up, bow down. I hold her with my spaceship. I hold her with my vice grip. I hold her in the east. I hold her in the west. I hold her in the north. And I hold her in the south.
Abandon all preconceptions. Nothing will comfort you now. Sound.
That last singer,
Andy Fairley himself.
Andy Fairley. We know nothing about this dude.
Nobody knows nothing about that dude.
All I know is that they first encountered him in Bristol. I don't even know if he's from Bristol, and he's dead. He died some time ago, and he was evidently a street poet, and he would just get up in front of microphones and do poetry. And I guess Adrian Sherwood heard him and brought him in as a singer. And one of the absolutely strangest voices that you'll ever hear on any recording. And
Yeah, it's kind of haunting. I want to hear some more.
All right, let's do it.
Drums of Africa. Fishes of the sea, a holy unicorn.
You heard a bunch of different people there. Akaboo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the female backing band shows up on a lot of their records.
Oh, they love these Akaboo.
And by the way, we also heard Lee Perry, Lee Scratch Perry. I know you like him. Talk
Oh
about
yeah, he's a character and a half. It's also kind of funny because sometimes when I see people discuss Lee Scratch Perry online, they'll say he stole that rhythm from Dub Syndicate for his song "Secret Laboratory," but they don't realize that they work together. You know, that
Yeah.
they just don't know.
Yeah, and the studios he burned down.
He says the second time was an accident.
Oh, okay. Oh, the second time was an accident.
Yeah, the first time was because it was possessed by evil demons and stuff.
Right. So he
Naturally.
intentionally burned down his own studio, his recording studio, of course. But then the second one's only an accident. But he is a strange cat, and a monster in terms of the history of reggae. He has launched a ton of careers. He's all over the reggae field. In fact, I would suggest behind Bob Marley, he may be the most important reggae artist around.
Yeah, because he was one of the first to do dub. It was him. There was Herman Chin Loy, and then I guess King Tubby. I guess
I was going to say King Tubby.
The three of them were like the very first to create like a studio to develop dub.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I think that originally their work was primarily to provide just good tracks for other people to sing over. And then I think Lee Perry was the first to sort of make it as an experimental kind of deal.
Actually, I think Herman Chin Loy had the first album that was dubbed. That was like successful and popular. Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably how that went down. But yeah, I mean, all three of them can claim to be the originators of the genre or the subgenre.
Okay, let's go play some more.
Ready? This is your flying guru.
Let the spirit rise.
Brothers and sisters today, what you doing up there? Hope you're doing fine. Well, I'm gonna make you mine, because all I've got in mind to give is love. Love, 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 love. Wadada, wadada. Wadada, wadada. Wadada, wadada.
Tell us about the singer.
That would have been Prince Farai, of course. There we go. It took a second to remember.
Kind of the Louis Armstrong, I guess, of reggae. He has that really deep, gravelly voice.
Yeah.
And he doesn't show up on a lot of Dub Syndicate records, but he is all over the Sound label. And he has, of course, a really big discography of his own, and was murdered in the true reggae fashion, I suppose. That's what happens to a lot of these guys. It's amazing how many have met with violent ends. Absolutely one of my favorite singers. Was like in his 30s, late 30s. He looked to be 70.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you see him on the cover, like the singers and players, you think, this is an elderly old man. And he wasn't really that old. But fantastic singer. And that song is Wadada, about Michael Wadada, who is the lead for Sons of Arca. And we really have to do a show on Sons of Arca.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about a group that goes over everything, oh man, Sons of Arca. I don't even know how to classify them. Like, I really don't.
Yeah, the second cut we heard was a very nice guitar romp. I just really love the sound of that. Let's listen to some more Dub Syndicate.
Oh, yeah.
Out here in the perimeter, there are no stars. Out here, we is stoned, immaculate. Out here we is stoned, immaculate. The one who come to challenge the kings of kings, the lords of lords, and the conquering land of the tribe of Judah, and the elect of God and the light of the world, earth, right ruler, huh? Well, sorry for you, my friend. I now seal your faith with music 10 commandments. After infinity, of oblivion, I reign dominion. Don't care how great you think you are, Mr. Smart. There are always someone that's smarter than you. Don't care how great you think you are, Mr. Great Star. There's always a greater star than you. From Rootside. I slew the IMF. I slew the CIA. I slew the FBI and I slew the ITT. Yeah.
I remember Time to Boom Devil X or whatever the name is.
Yes, the Devil Dead.
Yeah, Lee Scratch Perry and the Dub Syndicate, and it is Lee Scratch Perry all over the place. They chant out Lee Scratch Perry all the time, and that may be one of the absolutely best reggae albums I have ever heard.
It is so dense. There's so many layers going on. Like, even if you look at the album art, it is busy. It's got all this complexity to it. It's just incredible.
And if you want to talk about Dub Syndicate being the Pink Floyd of reggae, that record, you put the headphones on, and Adrian Sherwood has thrown everything but the kitchen sink into it. It's going to make one of my Desert Island discs. We're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to pick some discs that I think, if I was stranded on a desert and I needed something to entertain me for a long period of time, that Time de Boom Devil, whatever, I can never
Time Boom, the Devil Dead. There you go.
It's absolutely one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. All right, let's listen to some more Dub Syndicate.
Syndicate, Style Scott. Dub Syndicate,
Style Scott.
all you people out there.
This the will close down. Welcome to the night train. Welcome.
All you people out there.
This the will close down. Welcome to the night train. Welcome.
Good things happening with intercommunications, baby.
That last song there, I really like. It's just really slow and mellow and sets a really nice environment. We also heard a song that mentions Style Scott all the time. And Style Scott has probably been on more reggae records than anybody in history. Remember Roots Radix? I mean, it numbers well into the hundreds of reggae cuts or records and discographies just everywhere. He was murdered as well. Style Scott, the founder pretty much of Dub Syndicate.
Yeah, because that song, I believe, is off the Hard Food album. Is that, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Because that album was created as in memoriam of Style Scott. The whole album was made for that. So that's why they referenced Style Scott in that song. And I think that's also it covers John Holt's Police and Helicopter, the classic song. And I'm trying to remember the actual singer. I think it's U-Roy on that song.
You're more familiar with that era than I am.
Yeah, because that album came out only a couple of years ago. I remember in the station when it just came out and we had in the new releases. I was so excited for that.
Well, we have reached the end of our selection of Dub Syndicate. I highly recommend, if you're looking for something a little off the beaten path, Dub Syndicate is outstanding. Especially good if you have a friend or something that has a reggae collection, and it's, you want to buy a gift, something you probably are sure that he doesn't already have. The Dub Syndicate is really a good choice for that. Any final comments there on Dub Syndicate?
I mean, you really just can't go wrong. You pick any album and you'll find something good on it. There's really no bad albums as far as I can recall.
Any particular album that stands out?
Well, my favorite, Murder Tone. It's got just so many classic cuts on it.
Right, and really good production values. And then I would suggest Tunes from the Missing Channel, which is my very first Dub Syndicate record, is really good. I mean, with the we have been talking about Adrian Sherwood all this time. Absolute musical genius. He's the producer of all of these groups in the On Your Sound record. He can overproduce sometimes and basically just destroy a record because he just throws too much. But for the most part, he layers all of these songs with just some outstanding effects and everything like that. You really have to have headphones to appreciate it. All right. Adios, amigos. We'll pick another genre and we'll have some fun.